Time to round up one of our big stories of the week. This week, the White House released final numbers for the first open enrollment period for Obamacare. More than 8 million Americans selected plans from state and federal exchanges through April 19th, with about 28% of that total in the 18 to 34-year-old age group, that young age group that they were really targeting. Here in Texas, more than 733,000 registered through the federal marketplace, far exceeding projections. Meantime, Republicans in Congress say they did what the administration said it could not do: find out how many people actually paid their first month's premium. And they say only 2/3 made a payment. Republicans say they contacted 160 insurance companies listed on healthcare.gov for the federal exchanges. So do the final numbers back up the administration's claim that the Affordable Care Act is working, or will a lack of payments doom the program in the long run? That's our topic this half hour. And as always, we want to hear from you. You can share your thoughts on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can also send me a tweet at Sally Mack, Fox 26. In our newsroom, we have our legal analyst, Chris Tritico, our news analyst, Mustafa Tamiz, and our public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. Okay, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Have at it.
Well, and you know, we'll see later, because it hasn't been long enough to determine how many people are actually going to pay, because with the surge that happened right there at the end, there hasn't been a month yet. And so that's really what we're going to find out, is how many people actually end up paying at the end of the day. But Jackie Bally, I want to start with you. Excuse me, I want to start with you. The administration said we need 7 million to pay for this. They got over 8. They said we need 2.7 million of those to be between 18 and 34. They got exactly that. They exceeded the number of enrollees. They got the number of young people they needed to pay for the program. Is it time for the Republicans to say this law is working?
Well, it's not working, because our premiums are 35% higher on average, according to the Washington Post, than it was before. And the 8 million that we have, we're not sure if they were automatically dropped when they tried to enroll the first time, because remember, there was a lot of glitches going on there. So we don't know if it's working yet. So no, it's not time for us to say that, that's for sure, especially when the premiums are higher. The options that we have are lower. And only 10% of that number are Hispanics, which is the group that we really wanted to target to get insured in the first place. So there are way too many unknowns. We don't even know what percentage is going to actually pay for their policies, and you have to have everyone paying to actually have it to be a working policy. So no, it's not time for us to say that at all.
The House committee said that 67% of the people, only 67% paid their first month's premium. The administration released a number, said it was between 90 and 95%. I don't know where the number is, but there's a number that we can lose and still make the law work, right?
Well, the law is working, right? And in decades, is the first time that healthcare costs have been coming down. They've been on trajectory to rise for decades, and now they're finally starting to come down. Everything that the president rolled out is working. But whether it's working or not, I think this is a historic opportunity for us to come together as Americans. I mean, just think about it. Almost 200,000 families in Houston for the first time have health coverage. There's going to be someone who's going to be, going there for a mammogram and find cancer that they'll be able to cure. There'll be people that have diabetes. I mean, this has such an impact on people's lives that we have to try to start pulling away from the politics if we can.
And I want to address that coming back about the fact that pre-existing conditions are now covered. And I'll talk about that in a minute. I want to go to Sally first. She's monitoring our social media.
Hey guys, yeah, we've got some comments coming in. Amanda says signing up for Obamacare does not equal paying premiums for Obamacare, what we've been talking about. Karen says success is not measured by the outcome of actions taken by those threatened to either sign up or pay a fine. If there were really a choice, I don't believe the outcome would have been as high.
Well, yeah, that's why they did the fine. I don't think you can judge the whole law based on that. That's why they did it, and that's how you force people to do things. But I want to talk about this pre-existing condition thing. For the first time in this country, as Mustafa said, people with pre-existing conditions cannot be denied insurance. That's a good thing, isn't it?
At what cost, Chris? Again, the premiums are so much higher at this point. At this point, we don't know if it's going to continue. We'll have to discuss this probably in a year to see if that's actually the truth. But the reason why a majority of Americans still disapprove of this law is because those of us who are actively involved in it, we're seeing premiums escalate to a point that we're not comfortable with. That's happening for quite a few of us. Some people are not seeing that, but quite a few of us are.
I personally saw mine go down $5,000
And you're very
for my
lucky.
company.
I didn't, and a lot of us didn't. And so that's a majority of Americans are very unhappy with that price. So yes, we're going to see certain conditions that are now approved under insurance, but those of us who are actively engaged in this process are paying for that.
Yeah.
We're almost out of time.
Yeah, insurance companies are saying that the premiums are coming down, so that's a factual thing that's happening.
But if it goes up as it's projected, or some are projecting, if it goes up drastically next year, that's going to hurt, isn't it?
Well, of course it's going to hurt, but think about this. All the things that were projected are actually happening, and there are still people that believe that President Obama wasn't born in the United States because they just can't get over the fact that this is a successful policy, and they'll never let go of that.
I thought of you, it's going to cost $121 million to get the website working for the next enrollment.
All right, we
It's
got to
better,
go.
it's better than giving $40
We're
million
leaving it right
to
there,
companies that
Sally. I
need it.
can't make them stop, so I'm just interrupting.
You guys
We'll be
should
back
have been
next-
at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
That's exactly right.
You would have been perfect
We'll see you
guests.
next week for
Okay.
our special Mother's Day show.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.